India, there are NGOs working for several issues, and environment protection and particular the wildlife protection. Some of the NGOs are very active. Let us discuss some of them. The aim of these NGOs are to reinforce the pivotal role of forest species, means the trees, animals, birds, the ecosystem, to help sustain livelihood, means the people living in the forest, those are also important. So sustainable management of their livelihood is also a part of wildlife management. Capacity building is also a part of wildlife management. The first one is the WWF, that is World Wildlife Fund for Nature. WWF India, almost synonymous with wildlife conservation throughout the world. WWF India has been leading the charge of preservation, conservation and support over 50 years. Second one is the Wildlife SOS. So Wildlife SOS is one of the premier NGOs in India for wildlife conservation. It started in 1998 and began its objective to protect biodiversity wealth in conjunction with indigenous communities of India. So the local people, indigenous people are important in case of wildlife conservation. 40% of their staff belong to tribal communities who work in the forest. The staff also provides skill training to support livelihood. Livelihood and capacity building is an indispensable part of the NGO. This NGO is currently on a mission to save endangered species and at-risk livelihood among the onslaught pandemic through various fundraisers in tune. Next is the Wildlife Protection Society of India, which was founded by Belinda Wright in 1994. This NGO aims at focusing energy and knowledge to help tackle India's growing wildlife and nature crisis. The organization also endeavors to reduce human-animal conflict. So this is that human-tiger conflict, or it could be human-elephant conflict, especially between humans and tigers, leopards, elephants, etc. So it's among the most respected organization in India when it comes to conservation strategies. Scope of the NGOs work extends to Sundarban, that is Sundarban National Park, Simlipal, Kanha, Pech, Tadopa and Rajaji Tiger Reserves. Next is the Nature Conservation Foundation. So this was founded in 1996. The NCF focuses on wildlife research and conservation. Wildlife studies research works are also an important part of the NGOs, working across various wildlife habitats from coral reefs to tropical rainforests to mountain forests of the north. The organization also makes it a point to work with local communities in their habitats by supporting their training, livelihood and development programs. They work in areas such as Kaveri and Malai Mahadeshwara Hills wildlife sanctuaries, where lack of awareness can lead to adverse effects such as habitat loss, fragmentation, poaching, etc. Next one is the Center for Wildlife Studies, a pioneering organization for conservation, protection and scientific education of wildlife in India. Center for Wildlife Studies was established in 1984. This was quite old. As a part of its effort, the organization undertakes various activities including educating those living in near forest areas about wildlife and the need to safeguard the forest. The beneficiaries of their programs range from school children to workers who live and work in and around forests for sustenance. That is, their livelihood, means the village people's livelihood is concentrated in those forests only. The organization has adopted a scientific approach towards the preservation and betterment of forests and wildlife.